We lost a great one. D'Angelo helped so many of us find ourselves in the 90s and the 2000s. So tonight we're unpacking what that journey to self-discovery looks like. Then later I'm following up on a conversation nobody wants to have. It's a packed show and the stove starts right now. What up, though? I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at JAI, the Gentleman on IG. It's Wednesday, so it's time for a new episode of Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. It's still our short, bullshit-free step out of our comfort zone to talk about all the emotional ups and downs along our journey to happiness. Hopefully, this is your midweek reminder of how dope it is to be black gay men and love black gay men. I don't know any black gay boy that didn't get in their feels when D'Angelo popped up on Video Soul with that untitled video. The artist was quietly dealing with pancreatic cancer and transitioned this week. Black culture, particularly black men, lost a good one. Put that together with Diane Keaton, and we can throw the whole month of October away. So tonight, to honor the brown sugar artists, I want to know who were the other thirst traps that helped us find ourselves as little black gay boys. I don't know if y'all have others, but I definitely got a whole slew of them that helped me discover who I was and how I am and all the things. He said, lift my hat. Y'all can't see my eyes. The lighting has changed in here, so bear with us as we figure it out. You know, I love good sound, but I also love good lighting. So bear with me. Dr. Driffin is in the chat. But that's not your name on here, friend. I know that picture, but that name is so interesting. Oh, we'll leave it at that. The thing about D'Angelo, somebody said Lorenz Tate. Now I will tell you, Love Jones, Lorenz Tate, which is the same as today's Lorenz Tate, only 30 years different, but looks exactly the same. Lorenz Tate changed my whole atmosphere when he was on that screen with that damn Nina Mosley, Nia Long. But I will tell you the reason why D'Angelo hit me so hard, why it's set in my spirit like something fierce, was because D'Angelo not only did he show us about a genre of music that not a lot of us embraced at the time. He showed, I mean, R&B today is amazing, but he was kind of that neo soul vibe of R&B. And it was, you know, the Erykah Badu's and the Jill Scotts that popularized that kind of music. But D'Angelo was a totally masculine version of it. And I can think of, you know, on just one or two hands how many people have meant so much. But the thing about D'Angelo for me was when I saw him shirtless after, you know, his first album, he was wearing big ass baggy clothes, and then next thing you know, he's ass naked in front of that black screen. But it wasn't just my body lusting after him. He taught me something about what it is to be a man. In the time that we had Yin Yang Twins and we had Cash Money Records and we had No Limit Soldiers and we had all the different things, D'Angelo was a breath of fresh air in a landscape that said that you need to be hard and masculine and a thug in the streets to do anything. And I didn't recognize it at the time, but he brought a sensitivity to music that I don't know that a lot of us had, that a lot of others that I can think of had. He brought, you know, being emotionally aware and being you just can't you can't duplicate the kind of impact that he had for me, at least. Now, granted enough, there were several others that I was lusting after because y'all know I got a thing for Tevin Campbell to this day. But D'Angelo was just different. He was altogether different. And when I got the news that he transitioned at 51, 51 is way too young to go. I know we can probably list a whole litany of gone too soon, but 51 is way too soon to be out of here. And he was dealing with pancreatic cancer, which tells me black men eat your tomatoes. Your prostate and your pancreas want you to eat the tomatoes, not just ketchup and salsa. They want you to eat the tomatoes. But D'Angelo, that one hurt me. That one hurt me deep, 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 deep on this week. And then Diane Keaton, like it was Diane Keaton, who of course is a white lady, but then D'Angelo, oh, that one hurt. D'Angelo, in my opinion, he taught black men, not just gay boys, but all of us, that it is okay to be soft and strong. It's okay to be masculine and sensitive. You can't create songs like Brown Sugar and Send It On and Nothing Even Matters with Lauryn Hill without tapping into both sides of our existence. That's why when he dropped Untitled, he was legitimately bearing it all for all of us. Losing D'Angelo isn't about losing an artist, although he was gone too soon. And I wish that he was still here making music and tearing up that stage. And it's definitely not just lusting after his body, because he had a good one. And he put men with cornrows and a gap on the map. But what D'Angelo means is he is a generation of men that know that there is strength in sensitivity. Remember, as with everything, if you got an opinion about it, join me on the show. You go to livestream.dearblackgayman.com. The link is pinned in the comments and it's in the description. We're going to take our break early this time. We will be right back. I've been in the gym so I could do two things. It's one, thirst trap on the internet, and look good for my man when I find one. And that's why I'm excited that support for Dear Black Gay Men comes from Twillery. Black men, whether you're in the gym, like me, or blessed with good genetics, like me, carry our weight in a couple key spots that can make suits and slacks hard to fit and uncomfortable to wear without either having to size up or break the bank in tailoring. But Twillery answers the fit problem with their performance fabrics. It's the right fit for the tailored look and just enough stretch for comfort and breathability. I'm wearing right now the solid performance polo that hugs my chest and arms while tapering just enough at the waist to show off the good parts. Twillery carries suiting, polos, button-ups, and everything to impress at the job or knock someone's socks off on a date. And you can shop for the perfect fit right now at Twillery.com, and we've got a special offer for the DBGM family. Take $18 off your first order by using code M300J. That's Twillery.com, and we thank them for supporting our channel. So, welcome back to Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. I am Jay the Gentleman. So, I'm going through these comments, and y'all are reaching back to some deep cuts to find these thirst traps. Where did it go? Where did it go? Devontae Swing, who is the D in Jodeci. Devontae Swing, that's a deep cut, my nigga. Like, he is fine. He was fine. Now, I will say Casey and JoJo, they didn't age too well. But their music is still fine. Like, it's like fine wine. Who are some of the thirst traps that y'all covered after? I will tell you, mine, as I'm thinking about D'Angelo, is I coveted y'all know Tevin Campbell always got a special place in my heart. Tevin Campbell, I'm ready. Tevin Campbell, can we talk? But also Jesse Powell, baby is you. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you say my name. That Jesse Powell did it for me. Jesse Powell was also gone too soon. He has transitioned long time ago. Another one that's in the chat was Lorenz Tate. Lorenz Tate, Love Jones did it for me. But now I will also say Bill Bellamy, Love Jones did it for me. Bill Bellamy, Love Jones, Bill Bellamy, MTV Jams, Bill Bellamy, way back when, he did it for me too. Who else did it for y'all? Who else helped you discover who you are? Another somebody, obviously, I think some of the common threads are like Genuine. Genuine always been a sex symbol. For me, Cisco taught me that that it's okay to be gay, even though Cisco is not gay. But I think everybody, back before zesty was a term, I think a lot of us assumed that Cisco was a little zesty. You can't rock blonde hair, then silver hair and be like, and be a no limit soldier. So I think Cisco, he taught me it's okay to be gay, or okay to be myself. Let me say it that way, because I don't want to make it seem like Cisco was gay. is gay. Cisco is still alive and kicking. Spectacular from Pretty Ricky. That's another one. Everybody in Pretty Ricky did it for me. And Omarion back when he was a little bitty thing. Oh yeah, Omarion and B2K. Omarion and Rasby. And now Rasby was in Noah's Ark. I don't know if he is LGBTQ, but Rasby was it. LL Cool J still fine though. Just for clarity. LL Cool J still fine. And LL Cool J in his 60s. He's still fine. J926 says Gavin Houston. Who is that? Who is Gavin Houston? Let me Google them right now. Gavin Houston. Okay. Okay. Gavin Houston from the Haves and Have Nots. Now he does it now. That man 47 years old. Okay. Rockman Dunbar did it for me. Like Rockman Dunbar playing gay in Dirty Laundry did it. Who was Vanessa Williams' husband in Soul Food? Who was Vanessa Williams' husband in Soul Food? Family Fuck My Husband. Who was the husband? What's his name? Shamar Moore was fine back in the day. Shamar Moore is still fine. Shamar Moore, Boris Cujo, Morris Chestnut, and I don't know if they were just fine back in the day and I am growing as they are continuing to age very well, but all of them still fine. Tay Diggs, fine. Michael Beach, that's his name. Michael Beach helped me discover myself. I will tell you another 90s R&B star that helped me discover myself. Not because I was attracted to this person, but because they put out music that just resonated with my spirit. Adina Howard. Like my favorite artist right now, fun fact, is Cupcake. But Adina Howard walked. Lil Kim walked so Cupcake could run. Like Adina Howard, T-shirt and panties, Adina Howard, nasty grind. That Adina Howard, freak in the morning, freak in the evening. Wait a minute. I don't want to confuse. Yeah, that's Adina Howard too. Adina Howard helped me understand that I could be myself. That was there. But now that we've gone down memory lane, it's time for church announcements. Hit it. Keep those comments coming, but let me know who helped you discover yourself. But every week I write about the ups and downs of my dating journey on our blog on Substack. It's a deep dive into my emotional and sexual trials while I manifest my man in 2025. Join for free by clicking the screen now, or the link is in the description. This one is called Him, I Love You, Why Can't I Say It Back? So I was in this relationship one time. I will not talk about who it was with because I'm no longer with them. But he said the L word a lot quicker than I did. And I will tell you the problem that I had was because I didn't know what it was founded on. Like we were in there, weeks, maybe a month and a half, and he dropping the L word because I was touching something in him, not just in his hole, but I was touching something in him that hadn't been touched in a long time. And he didn't have a definition for what that thing is. So all he knew was this is what love is. He didn't know this was lust. He didn't know this was anything else. He just knew I'm feeling something, so let me just call it love. And I couldn't say it back because it wasn't founded in anything for me. So This is the story of what happened and how we overcame that in our dating situation. What happens when one person is deeper in the emotional journey than the other. That has always been something that has come up for me many times. This is just when I decided to write about it. So you can check that out. The link is in the description, or you can click the screen for connection to read the full story. How do I know if we're moving too fast? This question has come in more times than I can count. The pace that every relationship develops is a person specific journey, but I've learned a tool from couples that have been here on the podcast. This is called the 3-3-3 method of dating, and I use it to go from the DMs to meaningfully connecting with a guy. Every 3 days, acknowledge his feelings. Every 3 weeks, check in with the dating situation. Then every 3 months or so, move one step further down the journey to happiness. But what does this look like in our dating lives? Every 3 days or so, look for an opportunity to remind him that he's on your mind. Like, I remembered you watched that nature documentary and there's this safari exhibit at the museum. You want to go? Show him that the experiences that you are sharing together matter. Then every 3 weeks, check in. Ask him how he feels the dating situation is growing. Ask him what he thinks our next step would look like. Meaningfully include him in the plans that you're making for your dating situation, and show him that you want to be meaningfully included in his plans that he's making for your dating situation. Then every 3 months, make that next logical step together if you're ready. It could be going from talking to dating, or it could be going from dating to in a relationship and getting official. It could be planning a getaway or a staycation, or meeting family or important people in each other's lives. Every 3 months, take one step along the journey to happiness that honors where you are and the commitment that you're growing together, if it feels right. What I love about the 3-3-3 method of dating is because if I can't do these things in the interval, it might be an opportunity for me to do a little self assessment on how I'm feeling, where this is going, and if I want to go in the journey with this particular person. If you want to hear about my dating situation, how it's developing with Ryan, I have confided in y'all that I am dating someone new named Ryan. You can comment 3 and I'll send you a link. Follow for more dope queer stories. The easiest way to support what we do here on Dear Black Gay Men is to become a member of our YouTube channel. Members get access to exclusive conversations, the members only chat, behind the scenes content, and you can join me to chop it up right here on the show. And a portion of your memberships will be donated to an Atlanta area nonprofit providing HIV prevention and care in Black gay culture. Just hit the join button below this episode or send a super chat of any amount. And for all the latest updates, you can follow me everywhere on socials at JAI the Gentleman, especially on Instagram and Threads. That concludes our church announcements. Please govern thyself accordingly, and we will be right back.
Do you know your HIV status? When you do, you can take control of your sexual health. HIV self-tests give you the power to decide when and where to test. You just swab and stick it in the tube. Test in the privacy of your own space. You can set a timer, sit back, and wait. In as little as 20 minutes, you'll know your results. No matter your test results, you have a community waiting to support you.
I love being able to test where I want.
I love that it's confidential and quick.
You gotta love free.
It makes me feel empowered.
When I show myself love, I show my community love.
It's important to know my status.
It's important to know your status.
It's cool to know, you know?
If we all get tested, we can stop HIV together. Learn more about HIV testing, including free HIV self-tests, at cdc.gov/HIV self-testing.
What up, though? I had to turn that hat around because y'all can't see my eyes. Y'all can still barely see my eyes because I have hooded eyes, but I am Jay the Gentleman. Welcome back to Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. Now, this one, Body Move by PJ Silk, says Shamar Moore debuted in 1992 International Male Fashion Magazine. Do y'all remember that magazine? Between that and the JCPenney catalog, the underwear section, baby, when I tell you that might as well have been my Playboy magazines when I was 12 years old. Do y'all remember International Male? It can't just be me. I can't be the drama on that one. International Male used to take me under. I did not know what sexuality was. I just knew I had to have that every single time it came out. They was in them skimpy ass draws. It was a whole bunch of white men, but Shamar Moore was in there. I do remember that. And 92, I was 7 years old, living my best life in my bedroom by myself, watching this little 12-inch TV. I had a 12-inch TV in my bedroom and only got 6 channels. And 4 of those were like PBS or something. I was watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but baby, I would hide. I would covet International Male magazine under the bed. I think my dad would buy something out of it. He would buy like pajamas or something. He would always wonder where it went. And I'd be like, my bad, bro. International Male used to give it to me, child. It was so good. Okay. Say So TV is a favorite here on the podcast. We've reacted to his content before, 2 mixed reviews. He's even called me a loser and that I never find a man. Fun fact, I got a man now. But personal attacks aside, he has a perspective that I'm so curious about. His latest post is called Why All Gay Bi Black Men Are Single But Say They Want a Boyfriend. And he says it's a must see. Now that I'm in a relationship, I wanted to see if his opinions hit a little differently. So we're going to be reacting to Say So TV on Dear Black Alien Podcast because I know y'all love it. Let me rephrase. So I will say that I get some flack for talking to people who do not reflect my perspective on Dear Black Gaming Podcast. There was one notable interview that happened recently, but I do believe that there is power in talking about perspectives that do not align with our own. If I could interview Say So TV, I don't know why. I don't know if I would, but I definitely think his perspective deserves a conversation. So we're gonna have a conversation about his. Y'all can tell me if y'all would like me to start reaching out to Say So TV because I think he'd be a good conversation. I just don't know if I don't know if he would come to the table with like, yeah, let's talk versus trying to just preach at me or call me a loser. We shall see. Okay, let's see what he got to say.
Single, where are all the good men at, but then block someone because they asked to go on a picnic date instead of taking them to Nobu? Okay, no, because let's be for real. Y'all want a 6'2" boyfriend.
Do y'all remember this reel? So the backstory here, I'm talking about, we started a little further in the video, and I don't know if we'll get opportunity to react to everything, but the backstory with this particular reel that he is reacting to is the guy in the TikTok, in the reel, is saying that a lot of men, gay men, he's very general, but a lot of gay men want a man, but he doesn't line up with their very high criteria. Y'all want an Adonis who is tall and muscular and all the things and a socialite and the center of attention, but then but and he was just ranting about our dating preferences. That's what the purpose of this is. That's where we enter in a chat. Let's check it out.
Who goes to the gym every single day, makes 6 figures, has perfect skin, and doesn't drink, but somehow is the main character at every single party he's at. Where are all the emotionally available, financially stable, loyal tops that look like Greek gods with no red flags? They're fictional, bestie. You're describing a Pixar dad and Jesus at the same time. Meanwhile,
real quick, why is the assumption in our culture, and I don't think that this is the point he's making, but why is the assumption in our culture that it's the bottoms and the men who take dick, that the men who want a top, let me rephrase, the men who want a top that have these crazy ass high dating standards? I think it's all of us. Am I the drama? RM Durhag 2. I think I know who that is. I think we follow each other on Instagram. But he says that guy in the reel only likes white men. Fair. There's a whole bunch of brown men in this world that only like white men. Say So TV likes black men though, and is black far as I know. He might be multiracial, but he black. He at the cookout. Let's keep going. Let's see what he got to say.
Oh, the guy who actually wants you has a receding hairline and a hobby of building Legos, but you said ew. The truth is, we can't all have a Henry Cavill with a minor in astrology. Sometimes your soulmate is someone who just got back from Magic the Gathering and lives with 3 roommates. Love isn't always hot. Sometimes love is 5'8", works in IT, and texts back immediately, but you ghosted him because his chest wasn't big enough.
Just for clarity, 5'8", IT, and text back immediately. Absolutely my type. But also 5'11", accountant, and text back in 20 minutes is my type too. So I'll give you that one.
That's on you, mama.
Meet Reading Eggs Homeschool Max, the brand new all-in-one homeschool.
That was weird. I think I got to add. Who would have thought I had to add? That's weird. I got to add. I can't believe I got to add.
Reason why I be saying black gay issues, because we be having different issues straight up. All right, the truth is that is not really the truth. Okay, they can find a dude that's 5'8", their type. They're still gonna, make some compromises. He may not be perfect, but they'll still be willing to, and they still can't get that going either because niggas.
Okay, before he jumps in there, let me ask y'all. Now, when people say the word compromise, y'all remember that clip of Eartha Kitt? She was like, compromise for what? What purpose? What's the purpose of compromise? Someone comes into my life and I'm supposed to compromise? Y'all remember that? And so then, of course, every one of the girls was going on down the rabbit hole about I should not have to compromise for anything. He should take me just the way I am, all of the things. How do we feel about compromise? How do we feel about compromise in dating? Is it something that you do to make it work? Or is compromise something that absolutely undermines what you're trying to build? Holla at your boy says, I love Legos. I have a baby Grogu Lego set over here that I'm working on, but J926 says, it's all of us, but let's be real. Tops are usually put on a pedestal in gay community, which is why the desire for a top is always talked about compared to it being the other way around. And now I will tell you, I hang my hat on the fact that I do not mind being the thirsty nigga running behind the bottom. I will tell you, I think that it is important that when I like somebody that they know it. And I don't give a damn what my sexual position is. If I like you, you gonna know it. My face gonna light up. I'm gonna tell you you're pretty. I'm gonna tell you I like you. I'm gonna tell you I want you. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna text back quick. Tell you a quick story. This happened today, and I hope I don't misspeak. But this happened today. I'm at the gym, and the person that I'm talking to, his name is Ryan, the person that I'm dating, my significant other, he is at work. And so I preface the conversation with I want to have a conversation. I want to talk about something, but because I'm at the gym and I think you're at work, are you available to have a text exchange, right? Because it's some questions that I got to ask. Ryan texts back. He says, I was busy, but now I'm free. Now I ain't gonna tell you what he does or where he works, but just know that his today's schedule was very different than normal. So I was, I'm trying to be mindful that you might have some shit to do. If you need to text me back later, I get it. But there's a conversation I want to engage in. It wasn't serious, like, you made me feel something. It was just, I was very curious about a topic that came in my head. And, I got ADHD, so if I don't get it out, I'm gonna forget it. So he texts back and says, yeah, I'm free. I hit him with the first question. He responds back. again, I'm texting between sets, and so I'll text him, do my workout, and then, by the time I'm done, I'm expecting, hey, there'll be a response there. But I send a message like 20 minutes goes by, and I'm like, oh, I thought you was free. Immediately in my head, what I went to was, oh, this nigga is on some bullshit and nah, 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 nah. And I'm creating this narrative in my head of all the things that could have happened, all the ways in which he could be like playing games and blah blah blah, when in actuality he actually had to work. He had some shit going on today. And I think that what happens is we create these little nuggets of problem in relationship that blossom into something else, that when it was some bullshit, it was a scheme perpetrated by ourselves, not by Todd, to bring us to the bullshit. And that was just how that plot happened in my life today. Holla at your boy said compromising is always coming to a bad always comes with a bad connotation, but you can compromise and still hold to your values and beliefs. I agree. J926 says, I feel like compromise is only needed when a character flaw needs to be fixed. What you mean by that, friend? When a character flaw needs to be fixed, what does that mean? And the only reason that makes my antennas perk up is because the word fixed. Like you want to change somebody? Double tap right there, J926. Chris Pine says tops are put on high because we hate ourselves, and the feminine is the reason. It's the hatred of it, and we are aligned with it as gay men, so we reject it more. It's so sad. What do you mean, friend? Double tap there and unpack that for me. You're saying, let me put that back up so I can make sure I'm reading it right. Tops are put on high because we hate ourselves, and the feminine is the reason. It's the hatred of it, and we are aligned with it as gay men, so we reject it more. It's so sad. You saying we like bottoms and men who take dick hate themselves, or are you saying we all hate ourselves? Because I don't know that I fully agree with it. I do believe that we have a lack of self-awareness, but I don't know that a blanket statement about we hate ourselves is the state of things. I do think we have a lack of self-awareness because the truth is there are so few of us that are exclusively top or bottom now. Most men that I talk to on this podcast, most men that I talk to in general are somewhere in the middle. They are a top who will bottom for, in this very, very narrow circumstance, or a bottom that'll top in this very narrow circumstance. And next thing you know, the girls may call you versatile, but blah, blah, blah. I do think we have femphobia. We bottom shame a lot, but I don't know that it escalates to the level of hating ourselves, or maybe depending on how you're defining hate, we're saying the same thing. Panthro says, Lord, it's bad to take a big boy nap at 5 p.m. and wake up at 9:30 before missing the show. Hey, Panthro. Now, Panthro usually is putting in the comments that he the first one here, because I think y'all be like racing to be the first one. I appreciate it. Body Move PJ Silk said, Jay, as I shared with you, DBGM is one of the best parts of my day, and celebrating my 69th birthday at the private party was the cream all over. So let me tell y'all about Body Move PJ Silk. Now, I've told y'all many times that in the chat, real quick, shout out to pew, 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 for your birthday. But I've told y'all many times in the chat, all I know usually is the name that's on the screen and whatever your picture is. But I only see small pictures. I can't ever double tap on the picture while we're on the show. And I definitely can't do it after the show is ended. So I don't be knowing what y'all look like, aside from unless you show up to me looking exactly like that. Body Move PJ Silk came up to me at the private party. He came here to the studio came up to me and he said, and he told me who he was. And he said PJ Silk. Now I knew PJ Silk because I try to know people's names. I didn't know a face, but I knew a name. And baby, when I tell you, I was so excited to have seen you here. Like, I love seeing the DBGN family show up at our events, and where I can shake a hand and put a face to a screen name, all the things. PJ Silk was here at the show, enjoyed himself, sat right here on this sofa. He saw what the space looks like. He saw that this room is a lot smaller than it looks like on TV. I think came, enjoy, drank the drinks. I think he had a great conversation with Jorge, our bartender. Shout out to you, PJ Silk, again. And I didn't. You may have told me it was your birthday or you were celebrating your birthday, but I guarantee you I did not remember because, you know, I had to host a show. But thank you so much for joining us here at the private party right here in Dear Black Gay Men Studio. He got to meet Ronnie, all the things. Ronnie was sang down. He sang Prince and new music and all the things. It was good. Panther says, nah, I'm a bottom. Like, you're a never top bottom. Like, never, not once are you topping. Femphobia is a real thing. Thank you, Rolando. This one says, we hate ourselves in the subliminal way because the feminine that is assumed of all gay men. So we reject it more. So a top is considered the prize. Okay. Now that you've added context to it, I agree. We do femme shame in our culture, which is an unfortunate part about being a black gay man. We femme shame, and all these tasks, all these activities that we group into feminine, like taking dick is feminine, like being effeminate is feminine, and all the things. Now, I will say that don't apply to me because I like a butch queen. I need some sugar in your tank. If you step to me with a deep ass voice and super masculine, I don't give a shit what you do in the bedroom. Not for me. I need you to be like one of the girls. I want you to be a girl. That is what gets me going, because what makes me excited is how the things mix up in you. Like, you can have like, there's this boy that I follow on Instagram. He's got a full beard, bald head, good skin, but he is so feminine. Voice is up here. He talk like this, and it is so unexpected. And I just be looking at him. Or, like, I have a friend who is he thinks he's super femme because he wears makeup and he wears the high heels and he's lightly androgynous, but he got this big ass dick, right? Big, huge monkey. And I just be thinking how all these things fit together is so interesting. That he could put all of us to shame if we're over here doing a dick measuring contest, but he's the feminine one, the little skinny butch queen that, you know, got on high heels and his nipples out or whatever. Like, I like how those things mix together. I dated one guy, he had like a full beard, deep voice, but he wore like acrylics and could change a tire faster than anybody. I like how those things fit together. I like seeing someone's masculine and feminine expressed in different ways. That's just a part of who I am and what I enjoy. Rolando says, I don't give a fuck. I just like men. That's what I be saying. Like, can we just come? Let's just come. All we got to do is come. Please, can we just come? Because I will tell you, coming makes everything very simple. Rolando said, Deep Pruin said, hey. Chris Pine says, I'm sweet. I taste like candy. So dance with me. I taste just like, okay. Like, what kind of candy do you taste like? Are you chocolate? Are you a Jolly Rancher? What's it giving? Okay, let's get back to this. Let's get back to this reaction.
Is not either physically available, emotionally available, or mentally available. All right, I'm about to crack this down for y'all real quick. So, the reason why there's so many guys online talking about how they are looking for a boyfriend and they, you know, tired of being single, etc., but they all stay single, it comes down to really three main things, and there's other subcategories that fall under them, but these are the main three things, okay? So if you are saying that, but then you are still single, you are either physically unavailable, mentally unavailable, or emotionally unavailable. Check this out. Physical unavailability looks like you work too much, so a nigga can't really get to see you until certain time frames of the day.
I'm telling you, Say So TV is shutting me up. Physical I can respect that he calls it physical unavailability, but he is absolutely shutting me up. What I would call that is hyper independence. Physical unavailability is, I classify that as hyper independence. You don't need nobody for nothing. And I'll tell y'all a story. So I thrive in a dating situation when I have purpose. Like, I want to know that I bring value to this circumstance, that I bring value to whatever we are trying to share together. That is what I need. And so if, for instance, you are hyper independent on one level or another, then what I process that to mean is that you do not have space in your life for me to be fulfilled. I might be the drama, but I need to know that there is some added value that I can create in your life. Now, I don't need a dependent person. That is not what I'm saying. I don't want you to be invalid lest I show up. But I need to know that something is enriched because I am there. I am the oldest son of my parents. I am the man of my family. I'm the oldest uncle to my niece and my nephew. And so for that, am I? No, I think there's one other older than me. But for that reason, I have a purpose in all those relationships. My mother relies on me to activate in a certain way. She is unmarried. I am her oldest son. There are certain things that certain responsibilities I have in her life. My sister is the same. My sister relies on me to activate in a certain way. When I date somebody, I need to know that I have purpose and value in this situation. So when you are hyper independent, it doesn't lead me to be like, oh, this is what I do. Like, give you an example of this. I am dating someone right now. He don't like taking shit to the trash, because the trash can, now admittedly, so the trash can is so fucking far away from his house. I don't get how he does it. Now at my house, I just take it to the garage where the trash can is, and I can take that to the street on Thursdays, but Friday this week because of Indigenous Peoples Day. But the trash is so fucking far away. So when I go over there, I'm looking for I'll take the trash out, make sure that there's a new bag in there, break down boxes, all the things. It's small, but shit like that matters to me. This is a space in his life where I can be of value. And when Say So TV is saying shit like physical unavailability, it's, I don't have no space in my life for you to be of value because I'm at the job, because I'm getting to the money, because I'm, whatever. I'm trying to figure out a way to craft a life where you don't have any capacity in it. And that don't make no sense to me. Panthro says you got to get my D hard every time I see you. I don't even know what y'all talking about, but that is ironic because you such a bottom though. Like, you make that make sense. Rolando says same. I'm the oldest child and I'm also the oldest grandchild on both sides of my family. Now I am neither of those. I'm not I have an older sister, but I'm the oldest boy. But I'm not the oldest grandchild by far. Like my cousin Jamie he might be 15 years older than me. 12. He older than me. He's not the oldest grandchild. He is the oldest grandchild. I am the oldest son in my family. And I am one of the oldest uncles. I think there's one other uncle. I'm the oldest uncle on the daddy side. I'll say that. J926 says hyperindependence is usually deep rooted in trauma. Agreed with that. It stems from abuse, neglect, abandonment, to where you think you have no choice but to depend on yourself. I absolutely agree with that. The hard part about that though is so many black men experience that. Most black gay men did not grow up in spaces where our identity was affirmed. The things that we liked was affirmed, all of that. And most of us, I would wager, if we did a poll in the chat, most of us heard things like little boys don't do that. And you go outside even though we want to be inside, or all the things, right? Most of us heard these messages that said, I cannot emotionally depend on anybody in my life. And what that does is that seats in our spirit, deep in our spirit, that I can only depend on myself. That being alone, being by myself is safer than being with people that look and walk and talk like me. Because our family, the people that absolutely look and walk and talk like us, are unsafe. And so instead of healing that, we just craft lives where we don't have to depend on anybody. But the problem, to Say So TV's point in this video, the problem with that is, but you do want people in your life. You want somebody to rely on. You want somebody to connect with. You want to be in love or in or in relationship or married. But the only way to achieve that is to create a space in your life for him to thrive, where you can be fulfilled and he can be fulfilled in it. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not trying to shit on anybody's trauma, because trauma is real. Trauma informs a lot of the things that we do in our lives, especially today at our big ages. But trauma does not create space for someone else to absolutely connect with you. Because otherwise, if you carrying around trauma and coping with trauma and dealing with trauma, then at best they can connect with your trauma. And I guarantee you, no relationship works when we are bonded because we got shared trauma. And on top of that, no healed person is looking to connect with your trauma. Deep Ruin said, "Trash, thanks for reminding me I need to take the trash out for Thursday pickup." Now remember, Monday was Indigenous Peoples Day, so it might, if your normal day is Thursday, it might be Friday. Fun fact is, Deep Ruin asks, "Is that the value he desires or wants and needs?" I will tell you this: the person that I am dating, he says that if you're gonna do something for me, just do it. If you ask me to do it, like if I were to ask him, "Do you want me to take these boxes out?" He'd probably say, "No, I got it." That is trauma. No, you don't, because you don't got it. If you had it, why are the boxes here? That's either trauma or laziness. So he tells me, if you want to take the boxes out, just take the boxes out. If you want to help, just help. Don't ask me for help, because I'm going to refuse it. And I will tell you that in my experience, people who are in that situation, I'm not going to say that's the same situation all the time with Ryan, but people who do that, people who authentically need assistance but are unwilling to accept it, are either responding from trauma or laziness. There was this quote that a mentor of mine told me. He said, "Everything you do in life is either based in love or fear. Those are the only two motivators in our lives. Only two motivators. Everything you do in life is either based in love or fear. You're either running toward love or you're running away from fear. Those are the only two possible motivators for every person under the sun. Doing this podcast is because I love it. Raising money to do this podcast is because I'm afraid of being homeless." Like, doing hanging these lights in the ceiling is because I love the way that I love delivering a good product to you, even though we got to make some adjustments on these lights. Uh, may not do. There are many times where I did not record or film or go live because I was afraid that y'all wouldn't like the content I'm bringing. Everything you do in life is either motivated by love or fear. Every single thing. Those are the only two things that motivate anything in life. But back to your question, Deep Ruin, is that the value he desires, wants, or needs? I think so. I'll have to ask him. I'll text him later. I'll text him during the next break. Chris Pine says, damn, do you have any brothers, young uncle? Now, Chris, I'll tell you, the young uncle, I am, I'm older than a lot of people would think. Let me be clear about that. I might, good black don't crack, but I'm older than a lot of people would think. But I do have a brother. He is married, and he is the reason why I am an uncle. So, sorry. The Makoha men are all spoken for. I'm my mom's oldest living child, so I understand that responsibility full-heartedly. Yes, being the oldest son hits different. I wish both my parents are the oldest siblings and I'm their first. I have no big siblings, no big cousins. My mother is the oldest girl. And what we have, this is a fun fact that this is the way that the conversation turns. But what we have in common, my mother and I are the second born kid. We're the oldest of our gender because my mother has an older brother. I have an older sister. We both went to 3 different high schools. My mother's they redrew district lines when she was in high school, did all of that. And me and my mom are both Virgo. My brother is also Virgo, but me and my mom are Virgo. So me and my mom walk and talk and think very similarly. But let's keep going. Let's see what Say So TV got to say. I'm on his page for this part.
Which is usually for hookups and booty call area or time. And you get kind of trapped into just being a dude that people come through, kick it with, smoke with, smash on, maybe stay the night, maybe not, go to work in the morning. Y'all might link up next weekend or 2 weeks from now. That's going to keep you single because, yes, you're meeting the dudes. So you're not like not having access. So it's not that. And it's not that they're not attracted to you because they're sleeping with you. So what it is it's either you're too feminine, they don't want to deal with you because they only want to smash you. They don't want to, go out in public because they don't want to be, or seen as gay, whatever.
Okay, y'all help me with this. Do we have an issue? Is that the way femphobia manifests? People don't want to be seen with you because you're too feminine? Or is it that people are just not attracted to you because you're too feminine? For people who identify as feminine or have feminine tendencies, is it that people don't want to be seen with you because of what it says about them? Or they are not attracted to you because of who you are? Like, which of those is femphobia? Because maybe I'm confused. And I am very confused because I like feminine boys. So, all of this is foreign to me. How do y'all define femphobia? Because that's essentially what Say So TV is talking about in that last little clip. He's saying femphobia is I'll fuck you. I'll kick it with you when it's just us two. But I ain't gonna be seen in public with you because of what it would say about me. And that's not what I understood femphobia to be. Unlimited T says, hey, Jay and the DBGM team. Hey, long username, not femphobia, but based on preference. Not everyone is attracted to feminine men. Sure, I'll give you that. But I'm specifically asking about femphobia. Is femphobia, when I say that word, are you saying Are we understanding that femphobia is I I fuck you, I cuddle with you, I will do all the things as long as it's just us. But the second that somebody else is looking, I ain't got shit to do with you because of what it would say about me. Or is femphobia just I'm not attracted to you because of who you are? How are y'all processing femphobia when that comes up in our culture? J926 says to me femphobia is aversion, dislike or bias to someone who's femme. Okay, I don't like you because of what you are. That's femphobia. Holla at your boy says, I feel like they don't want to be seen in public because of their own insecurities. But is the I don't want to be seen in public with you, is that femphobia? Or is that insecurity? Or is it both? Like, how are you processing that? Let me know in the comments. Rolando says, femphobia is distaste, dislike, or hate of anything generally associated with femininity. Okay. So then the reverse of that, because I'm hearing that femphobia is just I don't like femboys, right? So then the reverse of that, what I'm saying is I do I do like femboys. I'm just not gonna be seen in public with you. What is that? J926 added to the chat. He said, you can be attracted to a femme guy, but if you don't want to be seen in public with them, it's usually rooted in femphobia. Okay. I love how I love how Rolando has bleeped himself out. I don't know if like YouTube has added those asterisks, but clearly I know what it says. That's not femphobia. That's being a bleep coward. But so just so I'm clear, if we were to develop a nomenclature around this as a family, right? Femphobia is I'm just not attracted to femme people. I have a distaste. What did somebody say? A distaste, dislike, or aversion to femininity, right? That's femphobia. But if I'm willing to fuck you, if I'm willing to date, to be around you, to share time with you, clearly I am attracted to you. So that is femme attraction. It's just I'm ashamed of what expressing that attraction would mean about me. So is that also femphobia? J926 says that is femphobia. Rolando says J926, I'm gonna have to disagree, my friend. LOL. They clearly love it. They just don't like how other people feel about it, which is trash. I agree. The reason why this is so interesting to me is because the person that I'm dating wears makeup. And I'm gonna tell y'all a story about this. So I don't want to put all my business out, but I kind of do because I have a podcast. But so I'm having a conversation with Ryan, and we are out on like a third or fourth, maybe fifth date. This is a couple months ago, or a month ago, sure. And I asked him, and what I noticed about Ryan is every time we go out, he'd have, he got to beat his face, he got to put on his cute clothes, all the things. And so I asked about, in my head, I'm curious on, is this a mask? Is this armor that you're putting on because you feel prettier, better, more with it on? And he said, well, I don't care what people say. You take me or leave me, right? And I'm like, okay, sure, great. We are in conversation. I like him. And every time I seen him, he got a face on. So I ain't tripping about it. But I asked him, I said, it sounds like you're putting these things on, these adornments, whether it's clothes or makeup or all the things. You're putting this on in spite of how people are receiving you, in spite of, like, take it or leave it, I'ma do me no matter what, and, grabbing the air. This is the tone that they were giving me at the time. And I asked him, apparently a question that no one had ever asked him. I said, "Well, what would it look like if you did these things because somebody liked you? Because they liked it, because you liked it. Like, what would it look like if instead of expressing yourself this way in spite of what others would say, you did it because others are saying it's amazing. You did it because you love it, and no one had ever asked him that. I don't think that a lot of us in our culture have the space to do things because we love them. Most of what we deal with as a culture, as people, is in spite of. Like, I dress like this to a degree in spite of what people do, what people gonna say about it. I wear these fucking Dear Black Gay Men hats in spite of. And even I had to change my own reality about it and start doing things because I love it. Like, I like this hat. I ain't trying to make no statement. I ain't trying to do nothing. I like running this podcast. I like talking to y'all. I like all these things. And I had to do a paradigm shift around it too. Hold on, Unlimited. Let's see. Unlimited said, if a man isn't at peace with his partner's feminine energy in public, that is a sign of misalignment. Real connection flows when energy is matched and accepted, not managed or hid. Unlimited, you might be my co-host. I think everybody's my co-host, but I feel like Unlimited, you're either the house therapist. Because I like to be Oprah, I'd be like, you're like the Phil McGraw, but Phil McGraw is very problematic now, so I don't want to put that on you. But circa 15 years ago, you like the Phil McGraw. 15, 20 years ago, circa 20 years ago, you're like the Phil McGraw to my Oprah. I'm here for it. If I had the power, I'd give you a podcast, friend. Rolando said, J926 says, Rolando, yeah, but the fact that you would have to worry about how other people would feel about it could be traced back to femphobia. You may not have any hatred or femme partner, but you still worry. Chris Pine says, my spider sense is tingling. Tingling about what, friend? Unlimited said, all of the above, Jay. I can play Gail to the Oprah. Now, mind you, Gail on TV every day. So that might be saying something very different now than it would have been 15 years ago when the Oprah show was on. Panthro says, Unlimited gets my cooch. Unlimited got a man. Now, I don't know if Unlimited got in his man play, but Unlimited got a man. And at the very least, we love around here. Holla at your boy, say he is the correspondent. I'm here for it. Let's see what else Say So TV saying. Cause Say So TV on one today. Like he hit on some shit. I'm here for it.
On the kind of dude that you're dating, okay? Or the dude just doesn't want commitment, or he doesn't want you, or he looks at it like you're just to smash and not to get in a relationship with. So that could be another one. Or you could be doing these same things as well. I'm just saying it's happening on either one of y'all's end as to why y'all still ended up single, okay? Or another form of being physically unavailable is you are still entertaining exes, okay? So you don't have a lot of time to meet nobody new because you're still dealing with,
Oh, that was good. He said you're still entertaining exes. That's where we stop. The one thing I say, and again, Winter Menace, if Winter Menace was in the chat, he would start cringing because I'm about to make this about sex, because I do believe sex is an analogy for life. Sex is a gateway to understanding so much about life if you allow yourself to see the importance of it, right? But what I will say is, that is the power of a whole phase for me. Like, I dated somebody once upon a time, right? The only way for me to clean the slate of whomever that was my whole phase. And my whole phase wasn't just having sex, although I did that. My whole phase was a rebound guy. My whole phase was going out on dates. My whole phase was going out to the club, either by myself or with others. My whole phase was being around my friends a lot more than I had been previously. What happens immediately following a breakup is intended to help you clean the slate of what that last relationship did. And all of us need a whole phase. And I really want y'all to hear me good when I say a whole phase is not just you out here fucking recklessly. A whole phase is not just you out here having sex for the purposes of having sex. It can be that. But a whole phase is you doing whatever you gotta do to wipe your slate clean. So you can start looking back on your relationship and seeing the lessons it was supposed to teach you and not just the baggage that you still carrying around. A whole phase for me is all of those things. I got to be outside. I got to go to the club on random nights of the week. I got to be out with my friends and go to Sunday fun days and have random brunches and, fall asleep at my best friend's house because, we was watching I Love Lucy reruns or whatever the case may be. All the shit that I stopped doing so I could be activated from my last relationship, I need to start doing that shit so I can create some emotional distance from it. I call that whole phase, but I think a lot of us just limit a whole phase to just, I'm gonna start putting my dick in a whole bunch of stuff or let a whole bunch of dicks put themselves in me. No, my nigga, a whole phase is important because it creates emotional distance from what was, so you can start creating emotional proximity to what can be. You ain't never gonna move on from your old man if you are constantly in a state of going back to him for things that you should be looking forward for. If you ain't getting no good dick, it's because you not separated from your old man. You are weighing all these new people against what you used to have. And he will fuck you with all the baggage that came along with that relationship, and you ain't never gonna find that in a hookup. So you got to start looking at life through a new set of eyes. And the only way to clean off those rose-colored glasses is the whole phase, in my experience. And again, let me say unequivocally so, a whole phase is not just sex. If you are limiting your whole phase to sex, you are limiting your ability to see. And I want more for us. I want more. I want better for us. This holla at your boy says whore here. Now I'm saying hoe. When you put that W in that R in that word, I think that's a different thing. Chris Pine says sex is an amazing gateway. Panther says love sex. Yes, sex is an amazing gateway. But again, let me be clear. A whole phase is not just fucking. If you get out of a relationship and decide to get on the apps and you find somebody to go get a coffee with because you ain't got nothing else to do, that's part of the whole phase. Now, sure, that could blossom into something. That could be an actual connection there. But that's a part of the whole phase because you wouldn't have done that in your last relationship. A whole phase is all the behaviors you put on the shelf to be with that man. All the stuff that you had to put away in the closet to be activated for that man. And the second you give yourself permission to start doing that shit again, that is the whole phase. Rolando says, nothing wrong with being a whore. If you do something well, you should get paid for it. The Joker in Batman Begins says, if you do it well, never do it for free. Never. You got to know what you're getting out of stuff. J926 says, we need a hot girl summer every once in a while. You need a hot girl summer. You need a hot girl autumn. You need a hot girl winter. If the time is right, you need a hot girl spring. Don't limit your whole face to summer. You can have a hot girl cuffing season if you wanted to. And one day you over here cuddled up under one dude, and the next day you cuddled up under another. We have to allow ourselves. I think our culture has so much stigma around sexuality because we have told ourselves, we have inundated ourselves with this notion that being sexual is a bad thing. And I think that if in the right context, we all know that being sexual isn't just fucking. You can pull out that freakum dress from the back of the closet and feel sexy. You can be ass naked at the house by your damn self and feel sexy. You can be out to brunch in a full get up and feel sexy. Whole phases are spaces, times in your life that allow you to feel sexy without the context of any other person. I feel sexy by my damn self. And we need to give ourselves permission to do whatever is going to make us feel that for ourselves, with ourselves. That is what I believe a whole phase is about. Okay, teammates, I think that's a perfect place to take a break. Yep, that is a perfect place to take a break. We'll be right back. What up, though? I am Jay the Gentleman, and I host all the craziness that happens right here in the back room. As far as I know, we are the only queer-led podcast that has its own studio in Atlanta, and we party in the back room. We have a Kiki in the back room.
Get that gooch licked on or something. Like, figure it out. Like.
We have a cocktail in the back room.
Oh, that's really good.
That's what she said. And we grow in the back room. Every time y'all are here, every time you're here, you say something that I'm just like, that really happens? If you're in the Atlanta area, you want to join us in the back room, visit dearblackgaymen.com/tickets to see what live shows and events we have coming up right here in the back room. What up, though? Welcome back to Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. I am Jay the Gentleman. Before we go, it's time to comment on comments. Hit it. The comments keep the conversation going through the roof right here on Dear Black Gay Men Podcast. If you want to add your piece to the conversation, just go to livestream.dearblackgaymen.com to join us live on the show. There are a couple comments I wanted to run by. Deep Ruin says, do we need to give ourselves permission to not chase heteronormativity, dating, relationship, marriage norms? Yes. Short answer, yes. Yes, we need to give ourselves permission to chase whatever the fuck we want to. Everything ain't for everybody, but I think that we do have and as much as I want to say the Cosby Show did us right, I want to say that also it kind of fucked us up because the Cosby Show created a space where we felt as if we had to show up in a certain way. We had to either be Cliff or Claire. We had to have a Sandra, Denise, Theo, Vanessa, and Rudy, and then Olivia tangentially. We felt as if we needed to live up to some norm of relationship that was not rooted in anything that was actually for us. And so I really do believe that we need to be able to unpack a lot of the things that happen in our relationships, and we need to give ourselves permission to pursue what actually lights us up. Not just what we think should light us up because we are either this position or this mannerism or this kind of person, but what actually serves us. And I don't know that our culture creates space to figure that out. And also, I don't think our culture allows us to have these multifaceted, nuanced identities. Like you say one thing in black gay culture, and all of a sudden we are assuming a whole bunch of things. You say you're a top, and we're assuming you're masculine, and you got a deep voice, and you're a provider, and you're dominant, and a whole bunch of other things. You might not be any of that shit, but we paint this picture based on one identifier. You say you a bottom, and we assume you should be feminine, and this and that, and all of these things. I think we need to give ourselves permission to be, and then from there be able to pursue what works for each of us individually. And I don't know that black gay culture, not just black gay men, but black gay culture creates space for us to just be ourselves. And the irony is, and without getting too esoteric in it, the irony is that same shit applies to like everything. We don't create space for people to be trans. We don't create space for people to be non-binary, or people to be bisexual, or people to be anything that does not align with how we see the world. Gay men don't understand what it means to be bisexual because we're gay. Even though all we got to do is just give them permission to be themselves. And because culture doesn't allow them to be themselves, then of course they, for a lot of people, hold that so deep inside that they don't allow themselves to be themselves either. And we end up with a whole culture full of people who ain't being nothing because they're trying to be something that they're not. But that's just me. Benjamin, another one says, I need to accept my whole phase. I definitely need to restore myself from dumb shit. I agree. Everybody needs a whole phase. A whole phase will do you right if you let it. And again, I have said this at least 5 times in this show, and I'm going to keep saying it. A whole phase ain't just sex. A whole phase is all the things you put on the back burner, on the shelf, in the closet, you packed away to be with whatever the last thing you were. It's like you ever got fired from a job that you didn't like? Or you quit a job you didn't like? What's the first thing you do? Reckless shit. You taking trips, you sleeping in, you eating crazy food, you going out random nights of the week. You're doing all of that to cleanse the slate of that bad fucking job so that you can live your life, and then eventually you transition to, now I need to prepare for my next job. But let's say, hypothetically speaking, you loved your last job and you got a promotion. You don't need a whole phase to go from victory to victory. But if you were dealing with some shit in that last season, a whole phase is a way to reacclimate, to get back to center, so that you can pursue whatever your next thing is with fervor and vigor and enthusiasm. And it ain't just sex. A bad job needs a whole phase after it. A bad breakup needs a whole phase after it. A bad car needs a whole phase after it. Uber black your way out of whatever you was going through so that you can play the field, figure out what works, and then next thing you know, you buy a car. I remember one time I totaled a car. I didn't total it. One of my friends borrowed my car because he needed to go to work, and come to find out he didn't have a driver's license or insurance. The insurance I kind of assumed because he didn't have a car, but he ain't even have a driver's license. And then he drove my car and hit somebody. I go out there, I take a lift out to where this accident happened, and my car is sprawled all in the intersection in pieces. A major collision. Totaled it. You know what I did after that? I was renting every kind of car. This is when Turo just started. I was Turoing and all the things. I needed a whole face. I needed to play the field. And eventually I rented a Chevy Impala, and that is the car I fell in love with because it has a special compartment in the dash where I can put stuff. And what did I do? I bought a Chevy Impala. Fell in love with it. Any bad thing that happens in your life, we need a whole phase after it. Give yourself permission to embrace your whole phase. Wipe the slate clean of everything you dealt with so you can move the fuck on. Whole phase is your friend. Whole phase is your life if you allow it to be. Now, the flip side of that is don't get stuck in that shit, because you will fuck up everything if you allow yourself to get stuck in it. Okay, teammates. I think that is a good place to end it. I appreciate y'all. That was our show. I am Jay the Gentleman. We'll be right back here with another episode of Dear Black Gay Men Podcast, Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. For more exclusive content, join us on Substack at dearblackgaymen.substack.com. The link is in the description. I appreciate you all more than I can ever express. That has been our show, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.